Good morning, guys. John here, Mr. Forex Fire again. We're just going to take a look at NFP today. So I'm just going to have a look at the London session. If you haven't already and you're watching on Facebook, go look at this website. It'll tell you a little bit more about me. And let's take a look at the charts. Right, so we can see we've already broken out of this here. With the New York EM session yesterday. However, the currency strengths at the moment, the GBP is super strong, so is the euro. The USD is mediocre. Excuse me. What we're waiting for is a breakout, a little bit of displacement, and possibly come back in. So again, we've had momentum. So we're waiting for something like that. The Euro USD, again, we're on the 15-minute. We're waiting for displacement to come back in as well. Maybe come back into testing the imbalance to shoot further off. The CAD JPY, again, we've got consolidation from yesterday right the way through here. Pretty simple and straightforward today, to be fair. We're starting to peak outside of here. So again, we're waiting for some displacement to come back in. And then if we are going to get continuation to the high side, it's going to be more or less come back into test into these areas here, and then to go and take out the further highs, which will be like above there, you know. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause the video. We'll be back in a second. That's the sort of buys and directional buys I'm looking for. And we'll check the CAD and the JPY as well. The JPY is super weak and the CAD's pretty strong. So I'm looking for these continuations, but I'm going to see if I can catch a sell back into the consolidation phases of the zones, you know, for them price to come back into at least maybe an Asian high and then to take further off. Again, similar to the process with this, see if we can get a reversal to come into maybe the Asian high, and then we can see the continuation up and the CAD. We might get the similar sort of process. A tag out of the key levels and liquidity high to come back in, maybe to test into that area and take off. Okay, so we'll try and make this one super short and sweet today. I'll be back in a short while. Okay, guys, so we've just come into the next 15-minute candle, okay? And you can see we've had a sweep here. Like I said, we've came out of the Asian high and the NY PM, the NY lunch. And we're more or less touching up into just below, I would say, maybe half or under half of the NYEM yesterday. We do have fair value on the CAD JPY, which is, again, right about there. Okay, we may even reach up into that, or we could get the displacement straight away. So I'm just keeping an eye actively on it. The euro, we could say here the 15-minute has in fact engulfed this. So I'm just going to take it down to a 5. Okay, and I'm just going to do this to this, and we get the momentum wand out. So we're just watching what this price is doing. What we need to see is this can go lower at once, but when the next candle comes in, it's got to stay within the fish tank, as I explained the other day. The euro, the GBP in euro, again, with this, it hasn't really engulfed on the 15-minute. So we're just continuing to watch this as well. But as we stand, the euro, we do have a form of displacement coming back in and engulfing that candle. So we will watch the 15-minute on here. We need to watch the 5-minute on the euro, and we'll be back in a short moment. So coming into the last 30 seconds of this candle here, okay. So that will be the peg in the floor, okay. We need the ones either side to stay above the close of this candle. This will give us our higher low, okay, because we broke structure from the Asian. So we've got low, high, higher low, higher high. This would be a higher low as long as this candle, well, this candle's going to stay there, but the next one needs to be caught within the fish tank. That will be our separation candle. And then we could possibly look for a trigger point. And what we're seeing at the minute, pip wise, it's pretty tight. So around about 7 pips. So now we've got our down peg. This will be the momentum candle now. We're just waiting for this to stay contained within this area. Okay. That would give us our separation candle. Again, going on yesterday, one of two things. If price continues and pushes above this, the momentum is still very much bullish and we could trade higher. Again, price may want to continue further down. If it does that, then it's a case of we just continue to spread the fib out and follow the price. But for now, before we can drop to the 1 minute, we really need it to be contained within that area. Okay, so I'll pause the video. I'll be back in a short while. Right, so we still got a minute left, but we can see prices coming lowest. This is still now becoming the bottom peg, and then we need to move on to the next candle for the momentum. So at this stage, we are still creating a bottom peg. The card JPY again, we are on the 15 minutes. We are getting a push down, to be fair, and the GBP again, we're getting the momentum down. We need to swallow through here. So we've got 5 minutes left on those candles, and we're just about to go into a new candle on this one on a 5 minute in about 30 seconds. So again, I'll just hang on until this candle closes, and then we'll see if we're going to get the momentum for the need for this separation candle to be kept within the confines of this tank. We've got about 10 seconds left. So price will be a little bit slow this morning because the NFP is up later on today, you know. So we've got 3 seconds left. So that is now the higher low because it's superseded the liquidity of the previous candle. Now this one would be classed. It is the momentum candle for now, but also we need it to turn into a separation candle and be confined within the perimeter fence or the tank of this low and this high. Okay. Hopefully you're following along pretty well with this. I'm going to pause the video. I'll be back in a short while. Okay, guys, so it looks like we may be able to set our alert ready for this. We've got 10 seconds left. We are within the fish tank still, as I like to call it. And unless this is going to break, right, so we can set our alert. Again, as long as price doesn't break below this, then we're fine. Okay. If price does break below this, we revert back to taking the alert off and we need to follow the price as it comes down. Okay. Just going to go to the CAD JPY. Again, we did get some pullback, but this new candle is starting to push further up. It may be going to take the liquidity here and also the imbalance before a reaction. The GU, we can drop this down to 5 minutes and we can pull out the fib on this. And again on this, we've got the current momentum candle, which is this one here. We need it to stay within this confine, so then this will create a higher low. So low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, center peg, and then we need a separation candle after the momentum candle. Okay, so we'll follow that. We'll go back to the euro and we can see we've actually broken out of price. So again, unfortunately, we need to move this along. We need to follow price and we need to just get rid of that alert. So it's just about being patient, to be fair, guys. Okay, I'm going to pause the video. I'll be back in a short while. Hi, out of breath, guys. Just had to answer the door. we've come down to this low. This is the momentum candle on the GU. The EU, we do have separation candle now. So now we're heading for this before we go down into an alert for the 1 minute. We'll see what comes of that. The CAD-JPY, again, we need to be on the 15 minute for that. We're just consolidating at the minute, but like I say, I do still hold for this bias. I'm hoping for a displacement to come down to test back into this Asian high to then continue forward on this uptrend here. Because again, when you look at this from this aspect, you can see here you've got a high, okay, low, this, and we could end up seeing a formation of a harmonic going on, but that's another video, to be fair. At this moment, we're on the 5 minute on the Euro USD. We have the peg set in for the higher low. We've got the separation candle. We now just need price to come back up. It's not to say it's going to come up and touch into here. It may only do a certain amount, come up and sort of go down again. But again, the probability is in our favor because, like I say, we do also have an imbalance area here. And this is where we would like to see a reaction point from. So I'll just put this here. We'll go at that GU because we're on the 5 at the GU. The GU is melting. So again, this might happen with the EU as well. We might not get the entry this morning. But we're following the rules. I've got the general bias of what I'm expecting. We have swept out of this, which is what this bit here is. Okay, we have swept out of that, which was this from here. And we've ultimately not really sort of teased where we've done the breakout. We've just instantly dropped down and coming into, as we stand, we can see we've got an imbalance here. And we're starting to react from that, you know. There is an imbalance a little bit further down. We may even touch into that. Okay, we may even touch into that. But for now, like I say, the momentum wand. This is the price action where it is at the moment. We would like to see a bounce from here. It can bounce from here, but ultimately we want to see this close within the confines of the tank, as we call it. And the next candle, we want it to do the same, okay? But we do not want it to break underneath here, in fairness. CAD-JPY, again, we're on the 15 minute with this. It's still bullish for me. We do have, let's get rid of this. This was from the other day. That was the zone, sorry, where I was saying we'll probably get consolidated from. We do have fair value on the 15 minute as well, which will coincide with the Asian high that I was mentioning. I do want to see it feel from up here. I want to come up and see it touch out of the liquidity we've already broke out of the previous highs. This is the London high. We broke out the Asian high and the New York PMI and the New York lunch hour. I want to see it maybe come and touch into 50% of the EM of yesterday in New York and then come down into this area because I want to see an entry from a sell point after it sweeps up into this, get a sell around out here, and then come down touching the imbalance. And then I do expect it to continue up, to be fair. But I'm going to go back down to 5 minute and go at that Euro USD. We are climbing up towards the entry. Well, not so much the entry. We are climbing up towards the alert, which will sort of trigger us to go to the 1 minute. Let's have a look. It looks like it's just going to tank from here. I do hope it's going to come into this fair value, to be fair. The GU, again, we're on the 5 minute on the GU as well. We've got 3 minutes on left. I'll pause the video, and as long as this stays within the tank, we do have the separation. So then we would be waiting for the next candle to be the one that comes up to hit the trigger point. Okay. So again, we want this to stay where we are, but within the confines of this space. And then we want that next candle to open up, and we want it to come in and touch up to here. Okay. I'm going to pause the video. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, so we're coming into the last 40 seconds. A little bit annoying because that euro, it didn't quite reach up into the fair value gap, and it's starting to drop now. If we just go to the things, the USD has become really strong in the last few moments. So yeah, it is what it is with that. We'll just continue to watch. We'll go to the card. We've got the 15-minute again. This is heading to where I was expecting so far. I do believe we'll take more liquidity on here and push up into this. We'll take it back down to 5 because that's what we are on the euro and the GBP. We're just waiting for this to happen for us, to be fair. If this continues and breaks lower, we've just got to follow a price. And again, guys, I don't really want to be getting in a trade today. If I'm honest with you, we're coming back down to the true day open. Price has just been consolidating, to be fair. So if we don't get an entry soon or a setup soon, I'll just be stopping the recording for today because, like I say, it's not moving as I wanted to. In all fairness, again, it looks like we have stopped that. We are now into a momentum candle again with this, and as you can see, we are into the fair value of this part, and it's mitigated that, so we can delete that. We're reaching down into the next fair value. And underneath that, we do have an order block underneath, So price is melting on this at the minute. We'll go back to that EU. Now, this one is behaving slightly, but again, when we look at this, got an order block here, and we can see above that order block, we've also got, once again, the fair value gap. And the true day opens in there as well. So I think this morning is more of a price action lesson. We're following price and we're identifying structure at different key levels, if you like to say. So it's not so much trying to get the setup because it is NFP and prices are going to do what they want to do and gear themselves up ready for the NFP dear. This is more of a price watch and price action, identifying what's happening during the London stage. We are at around about 10 past, just before 10 past 9. The markets in London have just opened. But I do have my setting on here set an hour before London because normally we do or can get the market set themselves up ready pre-London, like the Frankfurt Open. But this lesson today is more so a price action or a price watch session. It's not so much. If we get a setup, it's a bonus today. Put it that way. This is more, let's follow what price is doing. What is the momentum? Where is it leading us to? Where are the key levels? Where are we expecting it to react from? And this is one of those sessions. I've got the general bias on what I expect overall, but we're following price today more than anything, to be fair. We'll go back to that card in the 15-minute because that's where we are with this. I still think we're going to push higher up into here before we get a little bit of a feeling, before we get the continuation drive up. Again, we go back out to 5 because that's where we are for the euro and the GBP USD. We're starting to come in and starting to try to mitigate into the fair value gap of this 5 minute. And we'll go like GU. And again, we need to follow price. We've come and mitigated into 50% of the fair value here. So I'll get rid of that. We've identified that key area. We've now got this. Again, this is the momentum candle. We wait for this candle to close on that 5 minutes. And then the secondary momentum candle is this one where we need the separation. Now, I don't like anything to get too far over 10 pips. And we are right on the cusp of that happening here. We're on 9.5. So you see there, we've got 95 points, 9.5. So that's 9.5 pips. Okay. So as we stand, we're in the last minute. We do have a stake in the ground. That stake in the ground has came into, what do you know, wick to wick, touching into the fair value gap. It's put its stake in the ground. Hopefully, we might get a response from that and wick back up and get the buyers back into control, because the other only area below this, there's two areas of interest next. There's an order block right here. Okay, there's a zone here, and there is a key level right here, wick to wick, fair value there as well. Okay, so if we do get the pull back up on this and get the separation and get the touch in and go at the 1 minute for an entry here, these could be targets to the downside to go into a 1 to 2. And also you've got the Asian low as well. So what we're needing now from this is this candle to not exceed this low, and we need it to stay contained for this to be called our separation candle within the tank. And then after that, if it does do that, we wait for the touch to come back up into the 50 and we can drop it to the 1 minute. Okay, we'll go back to that euro. Again, this is just tanked down into that fair value gap. So we're on the similar sort of process with this, guys. We can get rid of some of these. You've watched what I've been doing. I've been marking the price as we've been going. We've had the momentum candle here, stake in the ground. It's done the stake in the ground, and what do you know? It's done it because there is fair value there, mitigated into it. Now we're just waiting for this next candle to steer from breaking the liquidity low here, and we want it to steer within this confined. Okay, if it stays within that confined, it'll be happy days, because straight after that candle, we then wait for the alert touch entry on the 50%. Okay, so just going to get rid of that alert as well. So all eyes is on the GU and it's on the EU at the moment. Okay, hopefully you're following along. And I'll take this opportunity to remind you, go over to this website if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. Okay, and then again, the guys in the Discord, if you're watching this, take notes and ask questions inside the Discord. Okay, I will be looking to sort of bring this in fully into the new year, into the Discord. So I'll pause the video. I'll be back in a short while. Hi guys. Sorry, the falling out the door. So yeah, we've got the separation candle now. This has been the separation candle. Now what we're waiting for is a touch back up into here. We'll go and check our GBP USD. We can set an alert on that, because again, we've had the separation candle here. What we're waiting for now is this one here to trigger the alert off. Okay, I hope the way I'm annotating this is giving you a bit more clearance on this sort of stuff. So again, once we stake the ground in and we've got candles either side, we know we've got the low, higher high, higher low. This pulls up. When this pulls up and closes and it's created that low, this is the separation candle. This at the moment is the momentum candle, because it's live. We need to see a touch into this area. And when we do, we can go into that 1 minute setup. Again, the euro and the GU, they're both within reason. That there could be a setup there, but again, I'm more into a price action watch at the moment today, because it is a NFP. We'll go back up to the 15-minute on the CAD-JPY. Again, I said we would probably reach up into these areas, and then I'd want to see a reaction from these areas on the CAD-JPY. So again, the directional bias and stuff. Okay, the directional bias and stuff and what I'm looking at in general, and a lot of people saying they don't understand where you need to get in. Well, you just need to look to see where the liquidity is on the sessions. Here, here, here. Okay. London came in, we broke the Asian. We look where the other liquidity is just above the Asian. Well, we have liquidity here, but we also have imbalance. So this is why I'm saying the momentum has been shown in favor of a bullish momentum. So I identify up here, then I want to see price start to fail here because we can see on the 15-minute we've had very much good volume here as we broke out of the Asian, okay, starting into London, going up into the imbalance of the previous day in New York, okay. I do think we may be slightly too high in here, but there's still no reason why this wouldn't want to do this, and then do this, and then do this, if that makes sense. So it's just we're just looking for the short-term probability in our favor, to be fair. So we'll come back down to the 5 minutes and we'll go into the euro. Again, price is not coming up to where we want. We'll want the candle to come up into here. And again, this is the candle at the minute. We want to see a push up into this area. So we'll pause the video. I'll be back in a short while. So it looks like we might get a trigger on an alert in a moment. We are right just below the 50%. There we go. There's a trigger point. So now we can take this down into the 1 minute. And what we're looking for on this is, because we're looking for a sell, guys, okay? We're looking for a bullish candle. And then we need a bearish engulfing, okay? So that's the setup on the 1 min. This is what we're looking at now. We'll just put this down here. This is what we're looking at now from this aspect. We've got the Euro USD. We haven't quite touched into 50%. So we're looking at the GU. I just want to sort of get the sell out ready. And at the minute, like I say, we need to see this into this here. We've got a bullish candle, so we're into the first part. And again, I hope these annotations are helping you with each section on this. We're on the 1 minute. We've got a bullish candle. We've got 10 seconds left. We could be going into a setup in a moment. We'll see what comes of it. There's 2 seconds left of that candle. Right, so we might engulf this. There's every chance we could engulf this. We would see around about, we could see around about 12 pips. Get this on here. We'll see around about 12 pips. 12 pips for 24 and 0.25. Okay, we'll do this on here. We're starting to get the engulfing pattern. 15 pips. Right, so we'll get this back on. 15 for 30.25. I'll go for the sell. For a 1 to 2. We'll see what happens with this, guys. Again, that Euro USD, we haven't touched an entry yet. So it looks like we've got an entry here. Again, we'll just get rid of the noise on here. Just going to get rid of some of the noise here, guys. Okay, so we'll do this, we'll do this. Pull this back along. We can get the fib. Look where the take partial is, guys. It's right on the imbalance on the 5-minute chart. So that would be the fair value. Let's take a look. Get rid of that. We'll pull this back along. Again, we'll get rid of some of this. We'll just get rid of some of the noise we've got. We mitigated into this beautifully. 50% when we go back to 5 minutes, look where the 50% of this trade's going to be. Slap bang in the middle of the fair value of that, you know. So again, nice target. We'll keep an eye on this. I wasn't expecting a trade, to be fair. We'll see how we go with this. We're back up to the 5 minute on the euro. Again, price is tanking off. We'll have a look at the GU. GBP is pretty strong, to be honest. And the USD is the same. So I want to see the GBP sort of wean off a little bit, to be fair. It is what it is. And we more or less left the station on this one. The KJPY up to the 15 minutes. We are mitigating into this high area, which I said we would. Hopefully, let's have a look at the KJPY as well. JPY is super weak. That is mediocre. So again, this will explain why the bullish momentum is still there on the card. Go back down to that GBP, and we'll just pause the video and we'll see how we play out for the day. If we lose out, we lose out. We just accept that. It's part of the trading plan, but we do have a consistent method with this. One thing I will see is we are trading this during the build up to NFP, so anything could happen, I would suppose. But the conditions were there; they were all met. The criteria was there. We followed through. We just need to see what happens with this now. Okay, I'll be back in a short while. So I'm coming back on with regards to the EU. Okay, I'm going to cancel that off. Reason being, let's get rid of this and I'll explain. Prices now starting to come lower. Okay, so we made lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So this is past its sell by date, in my opinion. So I'm not interested in the EU no more. The card I'm still keeping an eye on, and the GU you already know we are in on a trade, and we in a little bit of good profit at the minute. Okay, so that's the update. We're not watching the EU now. We've got the trade set up on the GU. Well, there's nothing else we can do about this other than watch price action and see if we get towards a take partial. Hopefully we'll get that drop that little bit more. The EU at the moment, the euro is mediocre, the USD is really strong. Currency strength is in our favor, guys. Okay, so the currency strength is in our favor, but it's still not to say that this will be a come up and mess around with us, you know. Again, it is NFP the day, so we just need to be mindful. And when we get towards, say, 10 o'clock, if we are still stuck in a trade and it is in a profitable state, at 10 o'clock, I will close out whatever profits there. I do expect we should get a refined answer by the time we get to 10 o'clock. There's another 25 minutes, okay? So I'll pause the video and we'll be back in a short while. You're bursting through the imbalance on the 15 on the KJPY. I do expect this to possibly start coming down a little now. However, the time is 10 to 10, so I'm not really wanting to follow price and get in on it. We can see we're starting to go bearish now. So all eyes is just on the prize with regards to the GBP USD, which we ended. We just do this, and then we auto fit the screen. We're still hanging around the entry of price. We'll see what happens with this. It is what it is. Again, I would have expected at least something to come within profit. So I think when we get so much into profit on this, if we do come back into profit, I might even close this one out early rather than go for the full 1 to 2. Because like I say, I'm not back. I'm not massively confident once we go out a certain time of day, you know. So again, I would like to see the entry come in, which it has done, but I also want to see that momentum shift to the downside. I'm just going to check on the GU, the GBP, and the USD is relatively the same at the minute, which means we're going to consolidate. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to close that off a little bit of profit now, okay? But we'll follow what price does on this. So I'm happy with banking just that little bit of profit on that. But we'll see if this runs to a 1 to 2. I wasn't really wanting to trade on an NFP morning, to be fair, but I thought, what the hell, why not? Hopefully, you found some great sort of tips on what I do and how I price watch. This has more certainly been more of a price watch and momentum watch, if you want to call it that. The criteria we did get in, and we did get that entry on that GU. We'll continue to watch that, but hopefully you're taking notes, okay? And again, I've got to remind you guys, if you're watching this on the YouTube or you're watching this on Facebook, go to this website, type the whole of the website in, and you'll go and see what the Discord is about, okay? And then if you're watching on any other platform, comment, like, share, hit the subscribe, and we also have the stars button on the Facebook, okay? So I'm just going to pause the recording for now, and then we'll come back and we'll see what's actually happened with regards to this. Did we actually come down to take partial area, and did we go to the 1 to 2? Excuse me, just going to go to the 5 minute, and we can see here that the ultimate 1 to 2 low is the session low of the AM and PM of yesterday. Okay, I'm not holding my breath for that as much. I think I'm getting out at the right time for about $10 worth of profit, to be fair, but we'll see what happens with this. There's nothing spoiling. Okay, I'll see you in a bit, guys. Okay, guys, so let's take this from the top and I'll show you exactly. I've closed this off early because, like I say, it's NFP, but the trade is going as expected in the favor of what we're doing. So the reasons behind this trade is as follows, okay? So get a pen and a bit of paper and make sure you follow. We are watching the liquidity get taken from the buy side on the sessions previous, okay? We've seen that. So I identified a target up and into the London that we said we would spike out of here. We did, in fact, do that. You can see here is the high of the New York AM session. We did come out of the Asian. That's primarily the key level. But we did have momentum at the time, and I said we would probably take this out. I marked this out, done it all in front of you as the live price action was happening. I said once we get the 15-minute sort of displacement come back in and go below the bullish candle, we would do from the high to the low. So you can see from here, if I just get out the wand, high to that low, and then I said we would wait for a standing peg. We got the standing peg. We dropped to the 5 minutes. Okay, I'll just get rid of that. We dropped it to the 5 minute. We'll get this. So we got the high to the low. We had a separation candle, which is this here. So you've got the high, the higher low. Separation candle, again, is stuck between the tank here, between the equilibrium of the mid-range and the low. And we waited for a touch into the 50%. That came right there. We then dropped it to the 1 minute, okay? Now, when we go to the 1 minute, because we're looking for a sell, what you're looking for is a bullish candle for the buy-in, but then you want to see the bearish engulfing come after that. And what I mean by that, guys, is Yes, we came up into the 50%. This is when we trigger into what we would call the 1 minute condition. Okay. This is when we would go into the 1 min. And for the 1 min, what you're looking for are these conditions: a bullish followed by a bearish engulfing. We'll look at this, guys. Touch into the 50%. That was a bullish candle. Okay. That was a bullish candle. You can see right there. Immediately after the touch of the 50%, we had a bearish engulfing. Okay. When that candle closes is when you get in on the entry. The entry level was here. There's been little to no drawdown. Because we come out of the time window allowance, I closed out at a little bit of profit, maybe about $10. But at the moment, the price has more or less came to the halfway point, which is the take partial. Again, I got out at the area I thought was best for me, simply because I don't want to get stuck in a trade going into NFP news. Okay. So could I have gotten a little bit more out of this if I waited to maybe 11 o'clock or so? Yeah, most certainly. I could have more or less had a 1% or just under a 1%. Prices starting to sort of come back into key levels of the momentum of price. We can see we've got fair value gaps here. Okay. Fair value gaps here that needs mitigated. Price efficiency is pretty good here, but we've got fair value gaps here as well. It's triggered through that. It's now going to want to go through this. Again, we might get a reaction from that. And if we do get a reaction from it and it wants to drop lower, the actual target is either this liquidity candle low, or if it breaks that, then it would definitely be the imbalance of the 5 minute on here, which constitutes as our take partial area as well. I've gotten out at the time I was comfortable with. I've gotten out at the time I thought was best. And for me, I was happy with that. If this goes through 1 to 2, I'll still be happy, even though I don't get that profit. I just know that I was happy with where I was at, where I got out at the time, because we are heading into just before 10:30. We do not want to get caught in a trade in the wrong side of it when the news drops. So again, we followed the rules. There's been chance of good profits on here. Just because the low hanging fruit is the 1 to 2, you've still got to check your surroundings, where you're at, what's happening, what is incoming, and if you are in slight profit, are you more than happy just to take that little bit off the table? And for me, I was. Okay. So I'll continue to monitor this and we'll see what happens with it. I do think that this will possibly push and start to mess around before the news, to be fair. But let's see if we can get to at least the take partial area for this morning, okay? So far, I hope you're following along. I hope what I do, what I annotate on the screen is coming across good. Again, wherever you're watching it, Facebook, Discord, YouTube, wherever, because like I say, once I go into the new year, the other platforms, I'll not be posting as much on there. Everything's going to be sort of done within the Discord. So if you are not already in the Discord, you need to go and visit this link here and get set up ready for the new year, okay? From there, guys, like I said, if you are getting value from what you see, please hit a thumbs up, whatever platform it's on. Please hit the like, hit the share. Please drop us some feedback. This is key. This is important. Drop some feedback, drop some comments. And if you are watching on Facebook and you want to be a super epic supporter, hit those stars in the Facebook comments thread, okay? So I'm going to pause the video. We'll come back a little bit later. We'll see where this finished up at. Okay, guys, so we're going to go back to this setup again. Remember, I said at the beginning of the session, when we got to a certain time, I was going to get out because I didn't like the NFP that was going to be coming in, and it was the good decision to get out. The setup was all there. We nearly came down, looking at this, we nearly came down to take a partial, but I got out a little bit further up on here, so it was the right decision. Again, I want to vlog everything that I do, whether it's a loss, whether it's a win, or whether it's a decision to get out of the trade, okay? I don't like to trade Fridays, as most of you know, and more so the fact that we've got NFP coming in the next hour or so. So getting out with that little bit of profit was the good decision. You can see on here on the history, uh, we did actually take a trade. Let's take a look where we're at. Orders. Where we at? Filled. Where do I get this from? Let's take a look. Working inactive. Filled history. So we can see here you've got to buy off your position back to get your profit. If we just go into the positions, I will find the history at the minute. Account history. There we are. So that's it there. That's what I was looking for. We took a loss at the beginning of the session. We took a couple of losses, okay. However, we brought it back. We've got this 200 loss. We brought it back with the partials the other day, and I took $10 profit the day. Not a huge amount to shout about, but at the same time, watching and following the price action, it was the correct decision. Okay. What I will do, I'll go into the New York session, and I might take a look at the NFP. Okay, we'll see where we are with the NFP. But what we did was we got out at around about here. Okay, round about that position there, we got out. Price did come down a little bit lower. Could have got a bit more, but at the time, I did not want to stay in it for too long because we were outside of the session window at this stage. Okay, so for me, it was the correct decision. Okay, now if you are enjoying watching the series on this, like I say, and if you're not in the Discord, go up to this right here and visit the website there. I just like to document everything I do because I'll use this as a diary to go back onto on certain days, whether I win, whether I lose, or whether I don't get in a trade. I'll always look back on my videos that I've done on a weekend so I can sort of refer back to what's went on, why it happened, and then I can jot more notes down for myself for learning as well. And hopefully you're taking something out of this, okay? I'm not here to be perfect. At the end of the day, nobody can be perfect. I like to share everything, whether it's a win, whether it's a loss, whether it's a break even. It's just what you get with me. Value, honesty, and integrity. Not like most of these people like you'll see on Facebook, where you'll just type in things like with gold, X amount of pips, X amount of pips, X amount of pips, X amount of pips. They never call all that. That is just something where someone else has said they were getting in on a trade, and that's where it's possibly gone to. They will never show you doing what I'm doing here live on a chart. They'll just type and put that's what they've got. Just bear with me, guys. Yeah, something like that, just at the postie at the door. So yeah, you'll see a lot of these people on Facebook will post what a X amount of pips, and they never show you doing a recorded vlog or a live vlog what they've done and how they've taken the trades. They'll say it's copy trading, but yet they'll put on as if they've caught that whole amount. For me, it really riles the shite out of me, to be fair. Sorry the language. But ask them to show you a journal, okay? With that being said, guys, like I say, nearly got off on a rant there, but I'm not going to. Watch out for the next session. It will be coming a little bit later. I'll post this up on the Facebook page. I'll put it up on the YouTube. It'll get posted in the Discord. Whether or wherever you're watching it, please comment, give some feedback, let me know what you think. And more importantly, comment, like, share. Go to this if you're not there already. Okay, guys, I'll see you later.